running a big AI model on a tiny PC, running a flagship AI model like Google's Gemma 4 on a $400 mini PC is more than just a hobbyist's experiment. It represents a fundamental shift in how we access artificial intelligence. Only a few years ago, a 27 billion parameter model would have required a room full of enterprise-grade GPUs. Today, a Kodlix mini PC equipped with an Intel i7 and 32 gigabytes of RAM is proving that the barrier to entry for frontier-level AI has effectively collapsed. The hardware, punching above its weight. The machine in question, a Kodlix mini PC, is a marvel of modern efficiency. While it lacks a dedicated graphics processing unit, GPU, which is traditionally the engine of AI, its Intel i7 processor and generous 32 gigabytes of RAM provide a stable foundation for CPU-based inference. Why a small PC can run a large model. The reason a 27B model like Gemma 4 can run on a machine without a high-end NVIDIA card comes down to two things: quantization and unified memory. Quantization, raw AI models are massive because they store weights, the connections between parameters, in high-precision formats. Programs like LM Studio use quantized versions of these models, often in GGUF format, which compress those weights from 16-bit to 4-bit or even 2-bit. This reduces the memory footprint by 70% or more without a catastrophic loss in intelligence. The RAM factor, in the absence of VRAM, video RAM found on GPUs, the system uses the 32 gigabytes of physical RAM as its primary workspace. Because Gemma 4 is often distributed in mixture of experts, MOE, architectures, or highly compressed dense versions, it can reside comfortably within that 32 gigabyte envelope. The secret sauce: virtual memory and optimization. Gemma 4 might run on 16 gigabytes of physical RAM if supplemented by 16 gigabytes or more of virtual memory. This is a critical hack for budget hardware. The 3 times rule. Virtual memory, or a page file in Windows, uses a portion of your high-speed SSD to act as emergency RAM. While an SSD is significantly slower than physical RAM, having a virtual memory pool that is 3 times the physical RAM ensures that the system doesn't crash when loading the massive neural network weights. If you have 16 gigabytes of RAM and 48 gigabytes of virtual memory, the model treats the space as one large, albeit slower, bucket. This allows the model to fit, even if it takes a few extra seconds to generate each sentence. The software, LM Studio. LM Studio has become the gold standard for running local AI because it abstracts the complexity. It handles the offloading of model layers to whichever hardware is available. Its requirements, Windows 10 Plus, and at least 16 gigabytes of RAM, are now the baseline for anyone serious about local LLMs. The software allows users to search for Gemma 4 and see different versions rated by their memory pressure. On an i7 mini PC, selecting a Q4_K_M 4-bit quantization version is usually the sweet spot between speed and smarts. What this means for the world. This shift from AI in the cloud to AI on my desk has massive implications for 2 main groups. 1. Home users. The free assistant. If you can run Gemma 4 on the machine you already own, you essentially have a permanent private version of a GPT-4 class. Assistant for no additional cost. Privacy. Your data never leaves the mini PC. You can discuss sensitive financial or personal data without fear of it being used to train a corporate model. Independence. No monthly $20 subscriptions, no rate limits, and no internet connection required. 2. Companies. Security and scale. For businesses, the ability to run a 27 billion model on a $400 workstation is a game changer for internal data security. Instead of sending proprietary code or legal documents to an external API, a company can deploy a fleet of mini PCs or use existing high-end laptops, like i9-powered Dell Latitudes or MacBooks with M-series chips, to handle specialized tasks locally. Modern laptops, the new AI powerhouses. While the mini PC is an impressive budget option, the laptop market has evolved to meet these demands. Intel i9 laptops. These high-end machines often come with 64 gigabytes or even 128 gigabytes of RAM, making them capable of running even larger models, like 70 billion parameter models, with ease. Apple Silicon Mac. Apple's special chips, M2/M3/M4 Macs, use unified memory architecture. This means the GPU and CPU share the same pool of incredibly fast RAM. A Mac with 64 gigabytes of RAM can often outperform a desktop with a mid-range GPU because it can fit the entire model into its high-speed memory pool. Summary table. Running Gemma 4 locally. Component. Minimum requirement. Recommended. Mini PC, CPU. Core i5/Ryzen 5. Core i7/i9 or Ryzen 7/9. Physical RAM. 16 gigabytes. 32 gigabytes. Virtual memory. 1 times physical RAM. 3 times physical RAM. SSD based. Software. LM Studio/Olama. LM Studio for GUIEs. Model size. Gemma 4, 7B to 12B. Gemma 4, 27B quantized. Final thoughts. Running a flagship model like Gemma 4 on a $400 machine is a testament to how fast AI is becoming democratized. You no longer need a supercomputer to run a superintelligence. If you have a relatively modern PC sitting on your desk, you are likely sitting on a powerful AI workstation. You just need to download the right software to unlock it. Do you know that any private information you put into a cloud AI is used to train that AI? A private AI running on your own hardware is the best way to keep your private data private. I can help you set up a private AI on almost any PC or server. Contact me for a free consultation. If you get value from these blogs, please consider joining my Patreon as a member at the $2, $4, or $8 level. There are more than 400 previous blogs on my Patreon page. https://www.patreon.com/Steve Hovland.